Hello and welcome to episode 142 of Ready to Mosh. I'm Gem G, and with me as always, the Fred Durst to my corpse grinder, Mr. Kev P.
Wasn't expecting that.
Random as always.
That is, yeah.
It's fitting.
I suppose it is, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it does tie into one particular thing, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It
okay.
needs to tie into one, doesn't
That's
it?
true, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to tie into the whole podcast, it'd be the Ready to Mosh,
Yeah,
which is a bit generic.
very.
Anyhow, it is the May Roundup. The Roundup of May, if you will. So as usual, we've got some news. We have the little podcast roundup, and then we're going to do some reviews, just like the olden days. And once again, I have to apologise for a slightly nasal sounding voice as we're playing another game of hay fever or cold or festival flu, who knows.
Could be any.
Yeah. Shall we start with the news then?
Yeah, well, not.
Been a slow news month actually, hasn't it?
It seems like nothing's happened because everybody's just focused solely on the festivals.
Yeah. I don't like it when it's a slow news. When it's a slow news month as well. I feel like I've cursed it like someone's going to die.
It's fine, it's fine. Do you want me to start then?
Go on then.
Bloodstock have struck a new partnership with EMP. So the old Jägermeister stage has been renamed.
And you know that we're all going to be calling it the Jaeger stage still.
It will always be the Jaeger stage.
At least to us. I don't
It
know
was, yeah. It was Hobgoblin before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that. Yeah, we'll just call it Jaeger stage.
Yeah, I'll see it as a Jaeger stage. It just kind of fits.
Like the village will always be village.
Exactly, yeah. Certain things just never change. And yeah, for me, that's the Jaeger stage. But obviously to others, it's probably the Hobgoblin stage.
Yeah. The little stage.
So just run through a few of the bands that are playing on there. King Kraken. That'd be really good.
So I'm looking forward to King Kraken. Yeah, I've not heard of all of the bands.
No, I've not.
But, yeah,
well, that's a good thing about the Jaeger stage,
yeah,
isn't it?
Definitely.
Sorry, the EMP stage.
Yeah, we're doing it already.
Already started, yeah.
But yeah, King Kraken did stand out and I saw them on the lineup.
Yeah, King Kraken, Public Execution, Rupture Farms. Also noticed that former guest Yersin have been added to the list.
Yeah, I spotted that, so hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with them. That'll be good. And we've got a few bits of download news. As we speak, it's less than 2 weeks to go. When this goes out, it'll be less than 1 week.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Rocketed around quickly, that has, hasn't it? The first bit is that the Friday Fancy Dress theme has been announced, and it is video games.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing counting Marios and Sonics and Lara Crofts, I suspect.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people dressed as Lara Croft or Mario Brothers.
I'm expecting a lot of Marios.
Possibly Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some obscure ones that I've got no idea what they are.
There'll always be Pokemon as well. People will go as that.
True. Considered a Zelda outfit myself.
Yeah.
But we never do we?
No.
Didn't you say that one of us should dress as Sonic and someone should throw hoops around or something?
Yeah, I said if I dressed as Sonic, carried a load of hula hoops, I could throw yellow hula hoops.
Yeah.
You could throw them or whatever, and I could just dive through them.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that.
Probably won't though.
Yeah, it'd be Sonic and Tails, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not much of a Sonic girl. I was always a Nintendo, Mario kind of.
I was both.
I only had one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, I've just had another idea. What about Bubble Bobble? And we could get like...
Jesus Christ, Bubble Bobble, yeah.
That was one of my first Nintendo games on my original NES. Get like, what are they called? Like a pot of bubbles. Dress up as one of the little creatures and just blow bubbles at people. And collect fruit.
Yeah.
Do you know what? This might happen.
I'll tell you what would be a good one.
Yeah.
Dressing as Frog and crossing over the road out of RIP.
Yeah. Oh, security would have a fit, wouldn't they?
They would go absolutely apeshit.
Or even just do it with people, like, between stages. When you could, if you see when the official times are out, which obviously they're not yet, but when there's going to be a load of traffic, like when I got stuck after Corn.
Yeah.
And it was just like a stream of traffic and I couldn't cross. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressing as Frogger.
Ooh, I'm getting ideas now.
God, what have we done?
Anyhow, so yeah, Friday Fancy Dress. We've got the Courtyard stage lineup announced for RIP. So we've got entertainment on Wednesday and Thursday, like the good old days.
Mm.
So Wednesday is Zola, Overpower, Lestelle, who we saw at Uprising at the weekend, and they were awesome. So looking forward to them again.
It was only a few days ago, wasn't it? Was the announcement just after as well?
It was just before. I think it was the day before. Yeah. quite a few people were saying about Listel being one of the highlights of the lineup. I was like, oh, we're seeing them tomorrow. So yeah, they were awesome. Bex, who I've heard of but not familiar. City and Hours, a lot of excitement for them as well. Palm Reader, which
I'm really excited about
very
that.
excited about, because we did report whenever they broke the news that they are calling it a day very soon. Is 2,000 Trees there?
It's their last one.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the second week of July.
Yeah, so that'd be great to see them again.
Yeah.
And then headlining is Pest Control. And on Thursday, opening up proceedings, former guest and friends of the podcast, obviously, Dear Download podcast. I don't think we've ever had a live podcast in the RIP stage before.
Not in RIP.
No.
I know it's been done from the Village.
Yeah, they've done it a few years now in the Village, haven't they? So yeah, something different for us to go. So if we can, we'll get there and give them a watch, obviously. And then there's Neckbreakers, I Destroy, The Last Gang, Negative Frame, Mouth Culture, Devere. I have to say I'm not familiar with any of them. And then headlining on Thursday is Earn, which I am excited about because they're obviously on the main lineup as well. So if I get to see them in the courtyard, it creates a gap.
It does create a gap, yeah. I love it when that happens, and there's something in the Village, like I think it's happened before with, oh Christ, who was it? Was it Those Damn Crows? Have you seen Those Damn Crows one more time than me?
I have, yeah.
That was the time then.
That was when they did the courtyard, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. What is interesting as well with the courtyard lineup, I think since the pandemic, the last 3 years, that'll be, won't it? Previously, in like 18 and 19, I'm sure all of the bands that played the courtyard stage were also on the main lineup. And I'm sure recently most of them haven't been.
It's been filtering out, hasn't it?
Which is quite interesting. Might be wrong on that, but I'm sure, like, I remember 2019 when we saw Those Damn Crows and Wolfjaw, and they were both on the main lineup that year.
Yeah.
And I remember in 2022, Lake Malice were on the courtyard, but they weren't in the main lineup. But as everything unfolds were. So I wonder if maybe just the headliners that are in both, perhaps. Or I could just be talking complete waffle. I'm just making this up as I go along, but that seems to be more the way.
They have started filtering it down. I don't think it used to be the whole of the courtyard.
No. Last year there was a few, actually, wasn't there? We didn't really get to see many because Nova Twins were there.
Didn't they get stuck in traffic? Like?
I don't know if they ever.
I don't think they did.
Campsabats just were really delayed and we didn't get to see them. And was it Fixation we did see?
Yes.
And yeah, they were all on the main lineup. But then
it was a weird year though last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then Cody Frost was supposed to be opening up the stage, but they weren't on the main lineup. So yeah, that's definitely more of a mixture. Anywho. More download news.
Yeah, more download news, and the shit has well and truly hit the fan.
The RIP fan.
For the RIP fan, yeah. There has been a change to the layout this year, and there are a lot of people from Metal Meadow have been moved to Metal Meadow 2.
A new edition.
Yeah. So they didn't get advance warning or anything of this before they would have bought the tickets.
No, I think they sent all RIP customers this same email, whether it kind of affected you or not, didn't they? It was like a mass thing. And I think, did we get it about 2 weeks ago now? So it was only going to be less than a month to the event, really.
Yeah, and they've moved people from one area and moved them to and created Metal Meadow 2, and then moved accessibility to that area. Obviously, people need access, and if you've got accessibility issues, it makes complete sense that you'd move accessibility close to kind of like the arena as you can. But obviously, there's been a lot of people from Metal Meadow kicking off because they're being moved to Metal Meadow too. So,
like last year, they had that extra field of TP's Beltan type things that were Metal Meadow. That was what we could see, and that's where the new accessibility areas, because there were a lot of issues with accessibility last year, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So obviously they've addressed that. I think the main issue has been for people who bought what is now Metal Meadow 2 for accessibility reasons themselves. So they've been put further away, and the field is basically next door to Sleepy Hollow, so it's over the road, so it's putting them further away. But from what I've read, people who've contacted VIP Nation.
Yeah, it's VIP Nation.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Some people have been offered full refunds for their tickets. So, I mean, obviously it's not ideal if you want to go to the festival. I'm not quite sure what other options they've been given or anything like that. But, they've obviously been trying to address it. And I can understand people's frustrations if they were expecting to be that so close, because that field last year was really close to the arena.
I think part of the issue is the main problem is that it's only just been announced. And the thing is, even if you end up in Metal Meadow 2, those tickets, if they went back to resale, those tickets would still sell.
Yeah, they will do. We've seen that there's been some on resale already, haven't there?
Yeah. We know that they'll resell. So why leave it so late? It's just a really poor decision. Because they wouldn't have had that field, and they wouldn't have just come around to get in that field. They would have had that field from day one.
Yeah.
As soon as they started planning campsites, they would have done that. So the fact that they've left it so late, I think that's it. That's the issue I've got. Moving the accessibility closer, absolutely fine. And I understand people's frustrations. And for me, the issue is that if people have been given advance warning, they could then make an informed decision as to, actually, we're not going to be in that bit.
Yeah, they'd have had time to get used to the information, look into it, and obviously take their time deciding on whether they wanted to still attend, I suppose, isn't it? But as we know with download, information is always very last minute. We've not had official set times yet. We've not had an official map. We've had an RIP map, and we've still not had the food vendors.
Yeah. I mean, they've only just told the residents what's happening, haven't they?
That's true. That official kind of info pack that's been scooting around. I think they did do something a little earlier in the year, didn't they?
That was the traffic calming, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, and confirming that they are addressing it. And then like an official information pack that's been sent around. And then just final bit of news, because I think we mentioned on the podcast that the venue in Mansfield that we went to a couple of gigs at earlier in the year that had just opened, the building had been sold. So all the gigs were on hold. We hadn't been able to get to the last couple anyway, but we are pleased to see that a new venue has been found to host the majority of the gigs that were planned for the rest of this year. The new venue is Legends Sports Bar and Lounge, a bit of a mouthful, but one gig has already taken place, which was Asleep at the Helm in May, and it seemed to go down really well. So I think all the gigs that were planned, apart from the one in August, a couple of the bands are not able to still go ahead with that one, but they're hoping to arrange something else. But everything else, including the one that we know we can definitely get to in July with Thrasher Wolf, is going ahead. That's great news, isn't it?
Really good news. Yeah, good that they've managed to sort a venue.
So once we've paid it a visit, there'll obviously be a review and we'll share our thoughts on
a new venue.
Another venue.
Yeah.
Time for the podcast roundup then.
Yeah.
So gigs attended or events attended, I've put as 2 because the night before Uprising was technically a separate...
It was a separate event, yeah.
Event. So the night before Uprising and Uprising Festival were both attended. Review is out. Go listen to it. Vlog may or may not be out, but it'll be out very soon if it's not. Tickets purchased combines with reasons for Jem to mention Ghost this month, and that is tickets for the Ghost movie, or Goovy, have been purchased. So I suspect we'll be including that in the reviews of the June roundup.
Probably.
Because, I'm sure if I had my way, we'd have a whole episode.
It would be a fucking episode, wouldn't it?
But aside from the fact that we've got a very busy June, not just with download, I don't think we're going to have room to dedicate an episode to it, sadly. I'm sure I could. Maybe I'll just sneak off and do a solo one.
If you want to.
Yeah, we'll probably share some thoughts on that in the June roundup, I think, instead. Merch purchased. Gem 2, Kev 3.
Yeah, it would have been 4.
Mine would have been at least 3. So if you listen to the Uprising review, you'll know this anyway. But all merch was purchased at Uprising, so we both got an event t-shirt.
We did, pre-ordered them.
We both got a Seethe and Akira t-shirt.
We did.
I'm wearing mine as we speak. Very nice it is. You got a Tribe of Ghost t-shirt?
I did.
I didn't, because I didn't have my size left, but we also got a badge. So technically that's also merch in it.
It is.
And then you didn't get a Breed 77 because they were cash only.
Yeah, and I didn't have the cash on me because I don't usually carry cash.
And it was late in the day.
And it was late in the day, yeah.
And I would have got a Catatonia one, but I didn't like the design that they had with them on their merch stand, but I intend to get one.
And there was also the poster.
Oh, and the poster, yeah, we bought a poster. And it's already in a frame on the wall next to Uprising 6. Because we do love a poster. And I think that's it for the podcast review. Have I missed a section?
No, I think that's it.
And one final bit of podcast news I've just remembered. I've finally purchased a new camping chair. It should arrive tomorrow, in the spirit of leaving things late for download. On to the reviews. So this month we've got 4 albums that we're reviewing and 1 EP. And the first album we're going to be talking about is Raised by Owls, Volume 3, The Satirical Verses, which is their third full album. If you're not familiar with Raised by Owls, I don't know what rock you've been living under. Because I feel like even if you're not familiar with them musically, I'm sure you must have seen some of their socials because, yeah, they put the most hilarious videos out there. And that's how I came across them, I think, around lockdown time.
Yeah.
When they were putting loads of random stuff out. And then obviously they did their E17 Christmas cover,
Which is really good.
which I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go. Track 1. Comedy metal is a fucking embarrassment, which obviously that in itself is just sums up Raised by Owls, I guess. In a good way.
I suppose.
Says it all. Lots of grindy goodness, I thought, on that one.
Mm-hmm. I actually really like track 2, Robert Zombie. It's it's got a weird. Well, they've done it through all of the album. They've put like samples of Simon Pegg and Alan Partridge's on there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like that track. It's good fun.
I really like track 3. That's probably one of my first favourites, which is Going for a Pint with Corpse Grinder. But you just love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this one kind of slows things down a bit after the first kind of fast opening tracks. Some great death metal vocals on this one, loads of grooves. Just, yeah, really enjoyed that.
That's interesting because I thought track 4, Dance Like Barney Greenway, it got a really cool hook in it. And I think this is one of the more listenable tracks on the album if you're not into extreme kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's just how it kind of felt to me. And I mean, I'll say it when I get to the end, but I'm not huge into this album just because of the style. But
yeah. Next one that I loved was track 5, The Dark and Twisted Realm in which Fred Durst resides.
Yeah.
Which is just a title in itself, isn't it? But I just love the intro and the build up into this one. Obviously, full on death metal vibes, some great guitars in this one. I love the video. Have you seen the video?
No. Oh no, I've seen the video. Yeah.
Just this imagery of Fred Durst creeping around like a creature. It just cracked me up.
I think you showed.
Yeah.
I think you showed me the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I just love everything about the song and the video. And that follows nicely into the next track, which is I'm Sorry I Wore a Dying Fetus t-shirt to your baby's gender reveal party. Another mouthful of a title, but another great track. Again, I just love everything about this one and the video for this as well.
I didn't know they'd done a video for this.
Yeah, this one's great. It's got obviously someone wearing, well, the band, I think it's Sam wearing a Dying Fetus t-shirt to a gender reveal party. But then there's all other instances of inappropriate t-shirts being worn.
Yeah.
In places. I'm sure there's one where it's got the Cradle t-shirt on, bumps into a vicar, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's one, I can't remember what band it is now, but I think it's like, casual outfit at work day and you wear something to the office. And I can't remember which band it is now, but again, you get the gist.
Yeah, get the idea.
Yeah. And then the next one that I loved was track 9. I honestly thought OSDM was a sex thing. And I just love this one because it is old school death metal, and I love the sound of that. So, yeah, another great one, and that was kind of my final absolute favourite.
Okay,
the album.
I do like track 11. None of this will matter in the end, just because it's really kind of catchy guitars, and again, it doesn't feel as extreme. And that was kind of like my favourite one. And I know the point of Raised by Owls and what they do, but the thing is, for me, this is an album. It's not for the faint-hearted to start with.
No, absolutely not.
And I think to really get the most out of it, you need to be a real extreme metal fan. I think.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And I appreciate what they do and why they do it. I'm just not I'm not hooked on it. And with this stuff, I need to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Because on my little summary, I put, they're very much a Marmite band. In terms of their sound, because it's so extreme.
Yeah.
But then also, comedy metal, not everyone loves or appreciates what they're doing.
Yeah.
But actually, it's quite genius.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I do, do appreciate what they do. It's just something that's not really for me.
Yeah, I get that. Definitely. For me, but I just think there's that chance that because of the comedy value that they add to it, they always get overlooked as musicians.
Yes.
So, yeah, you need...
Oh, yeah, they've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I just think the whole package for me, I really enjoy it. And I've still not seen them live yet.
No.
But they're at Mangata.
Yeah, we'll watch them there.
Absolutely. So what did you give it?
I gave it 6.
I gave it an 8.
But that kind of reflects our positions on how we feel about that particular stuff. So
Yeah, definitely. And I know what you mean about having to be in the mood for it, because you definitely do, because it's
because it is
in
that
your
extreme.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good music to wake up to, I think.
Jesus Christ. Next album then is only about a week old, and that is the new album from Bring Me the Horizon, Post-Human Next Gen.
Yeah, they dropped this one on us, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no kind of like warning. It's kind of like, here it is. But hasn't it been like 4 years in the making or something?
Yeah, it has, and there's been various delays, and obviously they've dropped singles, which I'm sure we'll mention as we go through it. But yeah, like midday last Thursday, they're like, yeah, coming in 12 hours pretty much, and
Yeah.
the world lost its mind, or some of it did at least.
Yeah, they kind of no promotion promoted it really well.
Yeah. So it begins with like a little intro track, as many an album does these days,
Mm-hmm.
and into track 2, which I really like. It's one of the few tracks that hasn't been a single already.
Yeah.
But I really like the guitars in this. I don't know what it is about them. I can't pinpoint why I like it. Is it a bit 90s? I don't know. But there's just something I like about it.
I hate it.
Really?
Yeah. It's like whiny pop punk shit.
You think? Oh,
Vocally, it's horrible. I kind of get what you mean about the guitars, but
yeah.
it's vocally, it's just horrid.
Oh.
Really don't like this track. And I made a specific point of writing down how much I hated it.
Oh dear. Someone's on one suddenly. Yeah, I just found this is probably one of my faves on the album as a whole.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just felt really kind of uplifting and melodic, and obviously quite different for them,
Yeah.
because I'm by no means a Bring Me purist, as I know some people are.
Yeah. I really don't, just don't like this
Yeah.
one at all. Track 3, Kool-Aid, we reviewed this when it got released, didn't we?
Yeah, was it earlier this year?
Yeah.
I feel like it was January. I want to say January.
And I do still like this track, but it does still remind me of Linkin Park.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I still like it. It's great, catchy, heavy.
For me, was an obvious single. It's much more listenable than anything else on the album. Definitely the best track for me. And yeah, kind of makes sense that they released it as a single.
Yeah. The next few tracks, to be honest, there's like bits of them that I like, but nothing as a whole track particularly stands out. Like track 4, Top 10 Statues That Cried Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I found this one a bit Enter Shikari with the electronics in it, and I can't decide whether that's a good thing or not. I really like the chorus in it, but then I felt like it was just going on a little bit too long at the outro.
Yeah, my notes for this track consist of Enter Shikari rip-off done badly.
Oh, okay. Mine's quite
It's like,
polite then.
yeah, it seems to be a consistent theme through the album. They've just used other people's music, kind of create their own. So I said Kool-Aid was reminding me of Linkin Park.
Yeah.
This one in particular is like a bad Enter Shikari.
It's like indirect samples and different
Yeah.
things coming through it. Like number 5, Limousine.
Mm-hmm.
I like the heavy bits in that, but then when it's all soft and mushy, for want of a better word, I don't like it.
Okay. Well, I wrote that this is an improvement over the last track, and it's at least listenable. And I recommend you go back to listen to it again.
Yeah.
After I tell you, it feels like a Deftones rip-off.
Oh, maybe that's why I like it. All the bits I like, at least.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, now I've said Deftones to you, you go
Yeah.
back, you listen to it, and in fact, let's do that now. We'll put an interlude in.
Okay. That does indeed sound like the Deftones, and I don't know how I even missed that fact.
Yeah. And I feel this whole album is just a parody.
Oh, interesting. Let's move on. NA. I bet you hate that one.
I'll be honest, I don't like any of the other tracks.
I thought you might have had something scathing to say about that one. That's the one with like the spoken kind of intro acoustic-y bit.
No. I just
Okay.
yeah, just didn't. Nothing just clicked at this point at all.
I do really like Lost, number 10, which has obviously been around for ages as a single. I've always really liked this one. I know it's quite poppy and boppy, but I've just always loved that one, and it just reminds me of seeing them at Download, and it was such a lovely sing-along moment.
Okay.
And similarly with 11 Strangers, that one was another kind of, it's more of a sentimental reason that I like that, I think, just singing along at Download.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my favouriteness ends.
Also want to say track 10.
Oh, yeah, Lost.
Lost. Fall Out Boy meets My Chemical Romance. It's shit.
Oh,
They're my
okay.
exact words.
Okay. Like there's the R.I.P. Dustcore remix. Apparently it's not a remix anyway. It's just
No.
they called it that. I was like, oh, why have you got a remix or something? Apparently it's not. But yeah, it is interesting now. There are a lot of already released tracks on it. I was thinking after all this time there might be less
Yeah.
that we'd already heard. Die For You, that was another single. I've never liked that one. And then, is it Dig It? The last track. Yeah, there's about 2 minutes of silence on that one. And I'm like, oh, we're going down that route from the 90s with the secret track things. But no. It was hard to know what to make of this overall for me.
Mm. I'll be honest. For me, it's just a disjointed mess, and it sounds like they're trying to. It's interesting that this is the last album that
Jordan.
was on. Yeah,
Yeah, and only in parts, really. Yeah, for me, there was just almost too much going on. So it's hard to summarise. There's loads of different styles, and yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash. And I just got quite kind of overstimulated from it because you don't know what to listen to. You don't when you've got it on headphones, especially.
Yeah.
It's just like there's just too much going on here at times. The tracks I really like, but I found the more I've listened to it, the more that I'm skipping tracks.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to evolve into a band to get an even bigger reach and audience, and I think it's because of all the blatant rip-offs in it as well.
Mm.
So the fact that, like you said, you quite liked one of the tracks apart from certain bits, and I said to you, it's the Deftones. That's why you like it.
Yeah.
I played it back, and you went, yeah, it's the Deftones.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, again, which is one of the best tracks, along with Limousine, because it sounds like Linkin Park.
I get where you're going with this, yeah.
And it feels like they've just gone, here's a list of bands that are popular. Now let's write a song that is similar in style to this band, this band, this band, this band, and then just put it all together. And so it just doesn't work. It's disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah, I think after all the hype and seeing them live and everything, I think I definitely wanted to love it more. It is like they've obviously got this big production going on live now, and they wanted to emulate that on the album in a way. But at the same time, obviously, when they did Post-Gen Survival Horror, the EP, that was quite similar in its different mashed up styles.
Mm.
I think, was that about 5 or 6 tracks? And I think I like maybe 4 of them.
Yeah.
The top of my head. So it does feel like it's kind of followed on, and the stuff that they've been releasing's been completely random anyway for the last few years, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's like they're just trying to find where they want to be, but I don't know if Ollie's sure what he wants to be anymore. But a lot of people love it, so that's very nice.
Thing is, there's always going to, it's another divisive album, because there are going to be people, like you say, that maybe hear this and something clicks for them with Bring Me. But then you're going to get older fans who go, what is this sack of shit?
My other 2 issues as well. Oh, what's with the text format with the capitals and lowercase? It's just annoying to write.
It irritates the shit out of me.
There may be some reason behind it that I'm missing the point of, and I apologise if I am, but I don't get that. And overall, yeah, it's just too long. But I do love the artwork. I do love the cover artwork for it. I appreciate it.
I don't have a problem with the album being as long as it is, as long as if it was any good.
I think that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Not that it is too long. No. But yeah, the fact it is all these little interludes and twiddly bits and 2 minutes of silence, and it's... Anywho, what did you give it?
4.
Oh, I went for 6.5, which I'm feeling is a bit generous.
That's a generous score.
I just kept changing my mind because...
Yeah, I really wanted to like this, but it's shit.
I think I wanted to like it more. That's why I've given it as much as I have. And now for something completely different. Kerry King's debut solo album, From Hell I Rise, or From Slayer He Rose, although Slayer have now got kind of back together again, but...
Re-risen.
Re-risen, yes. So once again, this opens with an instrumental.
Yeah.
It's the done thing.
I thought I was quite interested, actually, with this, because I bet this is used as a walk-on.
Yeah, probably. I think a lot of instrumentals are, to be honest.
Not always. But like, there are certain ones you can go, this will be a walk-on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe I'm just thinking of Ghost, because they always have an instrumental, and it's always like the prelude kind of build-up track. But yeah, it was a nice little instrumental. Against it. What's your first standout track?
Residue, track 3.
Same.
Yeah, it's just got a more interesting track.
Mm.
And it feels like it is going to end in multiple places.
Yeah.
But then it just keeps increasing. And it's got a really catchy chorus as well.
Yeah. I like that about the chorus, and I just love the way there are just those different tempos in it. Like 1 minute it's going faster, then it's slowing down, and you're like, yeah, what's coming next?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also like track 4, Idle Hands, which is another one with a good chorus. And what I like about this is most of the track is played at a different speed, and it kind of feels disjointed. One thing I don't like about it, there's a completely unnecessary guitar solo, kind of like 3/4 of the way through it.
Of course there is.
Yeah. And it's like it adds nothing to the track.
I thought it was a very good solo, though.
It was, but it didn't need to be in there. That's what I mean. It was like completely unnecessary.
Point. Yeah, this is one of my faves as well. Yeah, I just love like the classic thrashing in this one. Obviously, the signature guitars in it. I love the way it just suddenly ends as well.
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of, where will it end? It's like, oh, right, you've done
There you go. Yes. I also like Trophies of the Tyrant, track 5.
Yeah.
Which is proper foot stomper, and it's definitely one of the better tracks on the album. Although I kept thinking vocally it was saying ass like cigarettes, not ash.
Oh, just you.
It's just how it sounds. It sounds like ass like cigarettes. Oh, that's a strange thing to say. Saying these cigarettes taste like shit? I don't know.
Yeah, we should do a Peter Kay and do some misheard lyrics.
Misheard lyrics,
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that one as well. It's not down as a favourite, but I did appreciate the kind of dual guitar work in this one.
Mm.
So that was pretty cool. Next one I really liked was Crucifixation.
Okay.
Total brutal onslaught from the start. Great kind of extended instrumental. In the middle, kind of slow it back. It reminded me of more later Slayer or more recent Slayer.
Yeah.
That kind of sound to it. Again, great kind of just great head nodding. More mixed tempos going through it. And yeah, just really good track, I thought. Track 8 I thought was quite interesting because that's called Everything I Hate About You.
Mm.
And I thought they fitting title, short, sharp, punky thrash kind of little ditty in the middle, quite different to the rest of the album.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly fond of that one. Just didn't do it for me. And the only other one that I quite liked was Two Fists.
Yeah.
Which has got kind of one of the best sort of groove sort of bass lines to it.
Yeah.
And it was very Nirvana-like in places. But the track kind of lyrically is just so fucking juvenile.
I've got it's an angry anthem.
Yeah, it feels like metal for 13-year-olds. It's just very, very juvenile, kind of lyrically. There are some fantastic songwriters out there, and they definitely wouldn't have wrote this.
Yeah.
Musically, I like it, but lyrically, it's fucking terrible.
I know what you mean. The only other one I really, really liked, it was number 12, Shrapnel. Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. It's kind of slower, but still got loads of great kind of rhythms and some really great drumming in that one as well. Kind of a signature guitar, opening and outro. It did remind me a lot of, again, later Slayer, Delusions of Saviour.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I get
very similar, I thought, on that one. But yeah, another decent track.
Yeah, I think with the album, it's a Kerry King album, and you get kind of what you expect.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much as expected.
Yeah. There's nothing at all to be surprised about the album. And if you like Slayer, you'll like this.
Yeah.
And there's some decent tracks in it, but it doesn't kind of blow me away. It's just a very middle of the road, what I expected album.
It's pretty much in not the exact same words as I put on it, really. Yeah, it's kind of as expected. It's a great mix of kind of thrash. It's got obviously the signature Kerry King guitar sound that you can't detach from. You know, it's obviously not a Slayer album, but you can't
not sound like
that guitar. But I also thought the vocalist, Mark Osaqueda, he did sound quite similar to Tom Araya.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was on purpose or just coincidental, but that in itself also kind of obviously led to some comparisons. Not in every track, but in some of them it was quite similar style.
Definite crossover, isn't it?
And obviously the drummer, Paul Bostoff, he was in Slayer at the time. So, you know, there's bound to be natural similarities. But like you say, it's a decent album. It's not
groundbreaking, is it?
Yeah, no, it's just
there.
Listen to it. It's not,
What did you give it out of 10?
7.
Same here.
I think that says it all, really.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Next up then is the new Rotting Christ album, Pro Christo, which is Before Christ, as it's translated.
Yeah, their 14th studio album.
I know, that's some fucking going, isn't it?
It is, yeah. First one was released in 1993.
Jesus Christ. Quite a
Well, yeah. There you go. So, yeah, if you're not familiar with Rotting Christ, you've got
lots of listening to do.
lots of listening to do. And yeah, Greek black metal. An interesting combination, you may think.
I do, because I don't associate Greece with black metal.
I know, I actually
You
forget that they're Greek, to be honest.
I do. I keep thinking, oh yeah, it's another Scandinavian band, but they're not.
No, or Polish. For some reason, I think they might be Polish, which is more that direction to Greek,
Yeah.
isn't it, I guess?
It opens up with Pro Christo, which really sets the tone for the whole album. It's an unbelievable opener, and probably due to the length of it as well. I think that's what makes it kind of separate.
Yeah, I thought it was a good way just to introduce the album as a whole.
Yeah.
The first track I really love is Like Father, Like Son.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a preaching intro, some awesome epic soaring guitars, some great rhythmic guitars that go through. I thought the vocals were quite raw. Is that more raw on this one? And yeah, just kind of a big rousing track, which is going to be a common theme, I think.
I love track 4, The Sixth Day. The guitar in it, though, there's certain points, there's a bit in it that reminds me of Tool, and I think it's Parabola.
Okay.
I'll have to double check which song it is, but it does remind me of that in places. Not lyrically, it's just the guitar itself, it's kind of straight out of there. But yeah, again, and the whole album is just kind of so fat and loud and just kind of hits you. And I absolutely love this track.
Yeah, I really like that one as well. I love the spoken intro, straight into some more awesome guitars, and yeah, just the way the guitars and the vocals work well together, kind of blend in this one.
Yeah.
I thought that was really quite special.
I'm also a big fan of track 5, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce.
La Lettera del Diavolo.
There we go. That one. Because it's got a slightly quicker tempo than the others, and it kind of just builds up again to another big crescendo. And just that, like we said before, that wall of noise just smashing you.
Yeah, again, I also really like this one. I love the kind of dark, quite distorted intro, and then it just really picks the pace up. It felt quite harsher compared to a lot of the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Quite a few different vocal styles mixed through. It just felt quite urgent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then the chorus slows it down a bit in a bit of a contrast, and then so much going on, but in a good way this time.
Yeah.
I wasn't overwhelmed by it at all. It just works seamlessly, all blends together and ebbs and flows.
It's a different kind of overwhelmed with this, in how it hits you, because you're not expecting what's coming, but it works in a better way. And you don't start getting irritated by pieces here and pieces there.
Yeah.
It's just, you're enjoying every moment.
Yeah, the next one I really liked was number 7, Pixlax Dax. This one just builds the atmosphere up really slowly and then goes really high tempo. There's lots of kind of chants, lots of different tempos again working through this one. Really atmospheric and fist pumping, but at the same time quite ethereal when the female vocal comes in, and it just kind of adds to the ambience.
Yeah, the mix of vocal styles through this is very kind of different. Something that's not been done. It doesn't feel like it's been done for a while.
Yeah. And then my absolute favourite track on the album is number 8, Pretty World, Pretty Dies. Again, it's got really random mixes of sounds for me. It's got kind of Viking-esque, pumpy kind of vibes, but then it's also quite foreboding and it feels a lot darker. It's got those mixed different rhythms, different layers of vocals, catchy yet dark. Yeah. And again, yeah, just loads of different things going on, but it just kind of builds up this wonderful sound.
Yeah, I think the whole album in itself is just, it's non-stop, but it doesn't feel non-stop.
I mean, what is it? It's 46 minutes, I think, across 10 tracks, which I think is just perfect.
Yeah, it's about right. And nothing feels too short, nothing feels too long. Everything's drawn out to the right length. The vocals are incredibly powerful. The guitars are just epic through this. Same with the drumming. And I mean, I'll be honest, I think this album is a masterpiece. Yeah. I really do. It's just a wall of sound, it's atmosphere building, and at times it just comes from nowhere. And it's been the best album I've listened to all month.
Yeah, I would fully agree with that. So yeah, it's like kind of that typical sound of Rotting Christ, but in a good way, and it's just full of epic, majestic sounds.
Yeah, it doesn't feel old, does it?
No.
You know, say it's the 14th album, it's like, it's not like they've ran out of anything to do.
Exactly. And at the same time, you'd think by the 14th, you'd think that they've got it nailed on. Obviously, they have. To me as well, it just almost felt like you were going on a journey. It's like a soundtrack to a journey. You can imagine it on kind of film scores and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it. And so I've seen a couple of the videos as well, and they are pretty kind of epic, visual, landscapey type to go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that very well, am I at all?
I know what you mean.
Visual scapes to go with the kind of massive soundscapes that the songs have got. I can't remember off the top of my head which tracks have got videos, but yeah, it's a whole kind of work of art.
Yeah.
Basically. It's what I'm trying to say.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this live.
Yeah, hoping that we get to see them at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Are they UK exclusive at Bloodstock?
Don't know.
I feel like they might be, but anywho, they're definitely there. So what did you give it?
9.
Same.
There we go. On the same page for that one as well.
So our album of the month, we are united on Rotting Christ.
100%. Yeah, by far the best album I've listened to this month.
And to finish up then, we have got an EP. It's a debut EP from Iron Slug, Debauched and Bored. So it's 3 tracks. They're a 3-piece from Kent, kind of a sludge doom band, would you say?
Yeah, doom stoner band.
Yeah. The first track is Beauty Left in the Woods. Great opener, really cool, dirty, sludgy, cool bass going through it. It's got a really cool riff through it. Really liked it. I thought it was a good opener. Good kind of introduction to them. Yeah,
the guitar in this, it's a real sinking kind of guitar, isn't it? That just floors you. A really very thick, kind of 70s and doom style that just, you just kind of drown in it a little. It's very, very kind of heavy and it's not quick. It's just like, it just absorbs you. Yeah.
Track 2, this one's my favourite. I mean, I like all 3, but this was my standout.
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Blade Marks the End. I love the vocal in this one. It's got really kind of cool doomy tones. And the chorus, it's kind of really catchy and upbeat, but it really contrasts to the dark lyrics of the track, but works well.
I've got just about exactly the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I've got but again, it's very doom with an upbeat sound, but incredibly dark chorus.
Yeah.
And it kind of picks up through and then slows back down again. Yeah. It's got all these different tempos and pretty much the same as you.
Oh.
And track 3, Perfect Mistake, which is a different kind of a finish to this, with kind of a combo of sort of like doomer and stoner sound from before, but it's also interspersed with much faster parts in this and a change in the vocal range as well. Vocals kind of change slightly for this, and I do still like it. And it's a shame it's 3 tracks. I'd quite like to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting track at the end. It's kind of dark and slow and sludgy still, but it's got that kind of bit up and a clap along mid-section in it as well. It's different, but it works. And I feel it's quite cool that they've only got the 3 tracks, but they are kind of demonstrating slightly different styles and quirks to their sound. Because if you only got 3 tracks that you put out, you don't want them all to sound the same, do you?
No, not really.
Yeah, I thought overall the EP is a great introduction to the band. It's great vocals, riffs, bass ups, all of that. What more do you want, really?
A couple more tracks.
A couple more
tracks for me.
Give them time.
Yeah. As a debut EP, really, really like it. Would like to, obviously, like I said before, would love to hear a lot more of this. And I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for it.
So if we're marking out of 10, which I believe we do for EPs, I would say this is an 8.
That's exactly what I've got.
Also, Iron Slug are in the final of the Kent Metal to the Masses. So obviously, wish them lots of luck with that to get through to Bloodstock. That's on the 22nd of June. And also, just to say, the Kent Metal to the Masses final has got such an epic lineup. And we were talking to Tribe of Ghosts at Uprising about this, because both Tribe of Ghosts, Seethe and Akira, and Broken Calling are like the guest bands at the event.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then you've also got 6 bands competing in the final, so you've got 9 bands that night. And if it wasn't for the fact that I should be finally seeing Dave Grohl that night, We'd probably take a road trip to Kent just for that because it's awesome. So
We probably would, yeah.
if you're in Kent, get to it. Because, yeah,
Can't imagine how busy and insane that place is going to be.
I know.
Lost for words.
Yeah, there's also still time for Dave Grohl to cancel on me again. So, you know.
We might still end up going there, yeah.
Well, having said that, we're also missing the Nottingham Masters final this year because that's also on the 22nd of June, which is just rude.
Yeah, couldn't have it the same night as the Foo Fighters place.
But anywho, there we go. Probably due to the weather issues last year. Maybe they're trying it in June instead of July so we don't get a flood.
Yeah, Christ, I remember that.
Don't we all? Anyway, yeah, that rounds up May.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that episode. We've got more to come soon. And you can find us on Instagram, Threads, and X at Ready to Mosh Cast. We're on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Ready to Mosh. We've also got our Patreon there as well, which is just £3 a month. And for that, you get access to the bloopers that don't make it into the show, early access to episodes wherever possible, and you can find out what we've got planned before anybody else. Finally, you can support the podcast for free by giving us a 5-star rating and a nice review on whichever platform you're listening to. And we'll be back soon with another episode.
Make it rock, Moog.